Hello, this is my first story. Hope you like it.
Ethan, a vampire of hundreds of years, stood on the beach at night, relishing the cool breeze that swept in from the sea. The moon cast its silvery glow, painting the waves with a mesmerizing light. Suddenly, his serene moment was shattered by the sight of a little boy running toward the sea. There was nobody else around, just the child, his laughter echoing against the vastness of the ocean. Ethan hurriedly rushed toward the boy, intending to pull him back to the shore, but as he drew closer, the child's form began to blur and contort until it transformed into a ghostly apparition, its laughter now haunting and chilling. Frozen in disbelief, Ethan barely had time to react before he sensed a presence looming behind him. Whirling around, he was met with the chilling sight of a vampire hunter, arrow drawn and aimed at his heart. Ethan tried to dodge the arrow, but he was too slow. It hit his arm and hurt a lot. With grim determination, Ethan pulled out the arrow, but the numbing chill that followed spread like wildfire through his veins, like it might make him lose his immortal life. Knowing that time was running short, Ethan made a fateful decision. With all his strength, he sprinted towards the sea, his heart pounding with fear. Behind him, the vampire hunter and the ghostly apparition gave chase, their sinister laughter echoing in his ears like a cruel symphony of death. But Ethan refused to be their prey. Just as they closed in, Ethan reached somewhere deep in the sea and leaped into the dark depths below. Ethan submerged slowly into the sea, his movements sluggish and his strength waning. He recognized that his time was drawing to a close, but there was no fear in his heart. He had lived a long and fulfilling life, having experienced countless adventures and assuming various identities over the past few hundred years. As Ethan's body slipped into a coma, his green and luminescent blood, flowing from the wounds on his arm, began to seep into the water. Little did Ethan realize that his unique blood would soon attract an extraordinary creature from the depths below. Out of the darkness appeared a gigantic jellyfish, its shimmering glow creating a magical atmosphere. Unlike any jellyfish we had ever seen, this one had see-through arms that sparkled with colors like a rainbow. Its body glowed brightly, lighting up the deep sea with an enchanting glow. With graceful movements, the jellyfish approached Ethan, its tentacles reaching out to envelop him. The creature's touch was both gentle and deadly, as it released a potent venom into Ethan's bloodstream. The poison surged through his veins, spreading rapidly throughout his body. As the venom reached Ethan's heart, a sudden surge of energy coursed through him. His eyes snapped open, glowing with an unearthly light. Ethan's heart raced faster and faster, pounding against his chest as if it wanted to break free. With a sudden surge of power coursing through him, Ethan let out a scream that echoed through the depths of the ocean. The force that erupted from within him was so intense that it sent shockwaves rippling through the water, causing even the colossal jellyfish to be thrown off balance and propelled hundreds of miles away. Ethan underwent a profound transformation. His senses sharpened to an extraordinary degree. He could hear even the quietest sounds of the ocean from very far away. What astonished him even more was his newfound ability to comprehend the language of sea creatures and communicate with them telepathically. Additionally, Ethan discovered that he possessed remarkable speed underwater. He could move very fast, almost like lightning, especially in the water. It felt like he was part of the water, effortlessly sliding through it. He even acquired an incredibly powerful superpower that could be utilized on land as well. This power will be unveiled later in the story. Actually, Ethan was still feeling a bit panicked about being pursued by the vampire hunter and the ghost just now. The vampire hunter who confronted him was named Victor, and for the past 2 years, he had relentlessly pursued Ethan. This was because Victor had seen Ethan pass by his house in the dead of night, and upon entering the house, he discovered his 2 children missing. Convinced that Ethan was responsible for their disappearance, Victor harbored a deep grudge. As for the ghost, he was once a business competitor of Ethan's. After facing bankruptcy due to mismanagement of his company, he placed the blame squarely on Ethan's shoulders. Anyway, Ethan decided to put thoughts of revenge aside for now. He needed to clear his head and explore the mysterious underwater world he had never experienced before. Ethan moved gracefully through the vibrant underwater world, his eyes wide with wonder and curiosity. Each new discovery filled him with excitement, like a child exploring a magical kingdom for the first time. Suddenly, Ethan was startled by an unexpected sight. A young man in the underwater world with a cat hanging around his neck. Could they be spirits of some sort? Ethan wondered, feeling a shiver run down his spine. Approaching the young man cautiously, Ethan was surprised when the man greeted him with a warm smile. Feeling reassured, Ethan mustered the courage to ask the man about the peculiar scene. The young man chuckled and explained that he was simply chatting with his friend Fifi. It was then that Ethan noticed a small white fish swimming nearby, confirming that there was nothing supernatural about the encounter. Ethan's curiosity about the mysterious man grew with each passing moment, sensing that there was something extraordinary about him. Just as Ethan was about to pose a few more questions, the man's demeanor shifted abruptly.
Dude, you need to leave quickly before he sets your house on fire. Go.
Before Ethan could utter a response, an unseen force surged from the man's eyes, pushing Ethan back to the shoreline. Though taken aback by the unexpected shove, Ethan felt no pain. Ethan was puzzled by the man's words, his mind filled with questions. Nonetheless, he hurried back to his home. As Ethan stepped into the house, the scent of diesel fuel filled the air. While he surveyed the living room, a sudden movement caught his attention. It was a bullet hurtling towards him, and standing before him was the vampire hunter, wearing a menacing smile. Just as the bullet seemed destined to strike him, Ethan inexplicably became transparent, allowing the projectile to pass through him and embed itself into the wall. The vampire hunter stood in disbelief at the unexpected turn of events. The special power Ethan acquired from the giant jellyfish granted him transparency. Ethan's physical form could now transform into water, rendering bullets and knives harmless against him. Realizing the extent of Ethan's newfound abilities, the vampire hunter knew he was in serious trouble. Ethan had become a formidable opponent, capable of defeating him with ease. As the vampire hunter waited for Ethan to confront him, he heard Ethan's voice filling the living room.
Your children's disappearance had nothing to do with me. I merely passed by your house. I didn't even enter.
The vampire hunter, understandably skeptical, refused to believe Ethan's explanation. Several people had vanished in town, all linked to the presence of vampires. Suddenly, the vampire hunter's phone rang, startling him. With a look of shock, he answered the call. On the screen, he saw his children, now grown. His ex-wife then took the phone, explaining that she had to attend to a family emergency and wouldn't be able to care for the children. Knowing he would provide them with the love and stability they needed, she made the difficult decision to return them to him. It's clear that his ex-wife took the kids, not Ethan. He had misunderstood Ethan all this while. Overwhelmed with joy, the vampire hunter broke down in tears. He turned to Ethan, apologizing profusely and pleading for his release so he could reunite with his son. He felt guilty for the harm he had caused Ethan before. He begged Ethan to spare him, knowing that with Ethan's abilities, it would only take a few seconds to make him disappear from this world. Ethan's face turned solemn as he pondered for a long time. Victor awaited his response with mounting anxiety. Breaking the silence, Ethan made his decision. He would release Victor under one condition. Victor's heart sank, anticipating a grim stipulation, given his prior experiences with vampires. Ethan met his gaze and stated the condition. Victor must clean up the diesel fuel he had maliciously thrown at Ethan's house by the following day. The unexpected answer caused Ethan to burst into laughter. Despite his relief, Victor couldn't help but feel a pang of shame beneath his gratitude towards Ethan. As the hunter exited the house, Ethan's attention was drawn to his former business competitor, glaring at him with intense hostility from a distance. Despite possessing the ability to effortlessly detain the angry spirit, Ethan opted for compassion, allowing it to depart freely. He clung to the belief that someday the ghost would acknowledge its own misdeeds and embark on a journey towards finding inner peace.
Hey everyone! Yes, I am back. I hope you enjoyed our wacky story about Vampire Ethan. Buckle up, because I've got some juicy morals from the story to dish out. Let's get started. First off, when your old rivals become ghosts, maybe it's time to forgive and forget. Hit that subscribe button if you agree, or if you think it's actually a secret button to launch a spaceship. Who knows? You might be heading to the moon soon. When life throws a ghost at you, don't forget to dodge the arrows too. Click like if you are on my side. If not, just smash the like button anyway. I promise it'll make sense eventually. Misunderstandings can last centuries, but a phone call can clear them up in seconds. Just make sure it's not a voicemail. If you love this wisdom as much as I do, hit that share button and pass it on. Now, I've got a very serious question for you. Do you think I'm cute? If your answer is yes, go ahead and write it in the comments. If your answer is no, then, well, remember what happened to the last guy who said that. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video where I'll still be cute. Bye.